Manchester United are back. We are back in action. Friday, cannot wait for Manchester United at Old Trafford against Leicester City. First game of the Premier League season. Really looking forward to it. I know there's been so much negativity surrounding Manchester United, and I haven't really made so many videos this summer because there hasn't been so much transfer talk for Manchester United. We've only signed Grant, Delot and Fred this summer. Three players that were needed in three areas that we have strengthened, and Manchester United's fans are so negative about the fact that we haven't signed players in other certain areas. Now, we haven't strengthened the two main areas that I thought that Manchester United needed, which is a right-sided forward and the left-back position, but in the end of the transfer window, all we were going for was a centre-half. That was all that it seemed that Manchester United wanted. Now, I'm not sure whether the centre-half was the absolute main priority for Manchester United. It probably would have been had Alderweireld got over the line for Manchester United, because that was probably the experience Manchester United probably needed in that central defensive area. Now, if we'd got Harry Maguire, I'm not too sure there's a lot more experience between him and Victor Lindelof. Now, Victor Lindelof performed very, very well in the World Cup, so I'm excited to see how Manchester United line up tomorrow against Leicester City. I would expect David De Gea obviously to be in goal. It's the back four that's the problem at this moment in time. Ashley Young is coming back to fitness after the World Cup, so it should be Luke Shaw start, but he's been a bit iffy in the pre-season, so that is a bit of a worry for me. But he's got to perform tomorrow and try and nail down this position, because if he has a very good game against Leicester City, it's going to be hard for Jose Mourinho to drop him for Ashley Young. So, and Ashley Young should not be starting at left back. It should be Luke Shaw. He's got to nail that position down. It's his own fault if he can't. He's got nothing. There's nothing more. He's got to do it this season. It's now or never, or he will not get another chance at Manchester United. Now, it's got to be Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly. Now, Eric Bailly is so frustrating for Manchester United fans due to the fact that he's always injured. Just gets a few games and always injured. Them two could be a stellar partnership, and I think the only game that we saw them partner together was that game the other day against Bayern Munich in the pre-season game, and Eric Bailly got injured. I do believe that he's okay, so that is positive signs. Valencia, on the other hand, is out of this game, so it's going to be Darmian. Two fullbacks that I thought that would be leaving Manchester United this summer are both probably going to start this game. With Fosu-Mensah going out on loan, it does give Darmian another chance at Manchester United. He could still go before the end of the transfer window, though. We do not yet know for sure. Now, midfield's a bit of a conundrum, because I've been hearing that maybe And Herrera's injured, maybe he's out of this game. I'm not too sure. He cannot be injured for this game. Manchester United have to get him going for this game. We cannot afford to lose him. I mean, Paul Pogba's still not come back from the World Cup, so who else? Matic is injured, so if we're going to play a midfield three, it's got to be Fred, Pereira and Herrera in this game. I don't know what else he's going to do. If not, probably put Scott McTominay in there if Herrera isn't fit, but it is a bit of a worry. Scott McTominay, a decent lad in that, but probably not good enough for Manchester United to be starting week in, week out. It's okay as a squad player, could still progress and improve, but a squad player for Manchester United. And you do need squad players like that are going to come in, be happy to sit on the bench for certain games and fulfil their dream of playing for Manchester United. That's what it's all about. But he shouldn't be starting every single game for Manchester United. And Manchester United, with a few injury problems, we don't want to be playing Scott McTominay too often in important games. But we have got midfield depth, because Scott McTominay and obviously Pogba probably won't play, and we've still got Matic, so we've got depth in there now. Adding Fred to the equation, I think Fred will give Manchester United a boost in that midfield. We did need one more midfielder in there. I know a lot of people wanted Milinkovic-Savic as well, but I don't see where he would have fitted. It would have only been if Paul Pogba leaves that we would have got Milinkovic-Savic. I don't think we would have spent about 100 million on another midfield player, because you're only going to play three midfield players probably at one given time. Now, the forward line is going to be interesting as well for Manchester United. I believe it will be Rashford, Sanchez and Juan Mata. I can't really see him bringing either obviously Paul Pogba or Romelu Lukaku back into the starting lineup for this game. There has been rumours that Pogba will be along the substitutes bench, so I would expect Romelu Lukaku to be as well, probably. because it seemed like he came back from the World Cup holiday, sort of the holiday after the World Cup, a bit quicker than Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba and Marouane Fellaini, I think, were the last two to come back. Now, it could be that Fellaini's on the substitutes bench as well in this game, but I really didn't want Fellaini to come back. Nothing against Fellaini, but he's a limited player, but I do believe that Jose Mourinho will utilise him this season, but we will just have to wait and see. But I'm hoping that strike force is good enough to maybe turn Leicester City over in this current game. I mean, Alexis Sanchez is looking in good form in the pre-season. He was probably about the strongest player along with Pereira, so that was good to see for Manchester United. Them two were probably the only real positives for the pre-season tour. I know there was a lot of youngsters, the likes of Mason Greenwood, getting quite a lot of minutes, considering he was only 16 on the pre-season tour, got around 25 minutes in one game, and I think a couple of cameos, 5-10 minutes in another couple of game or two, which was fantastic really to see, considering he's only 16. Also the likes of Chong getting 45 minutes here, and maybe 20-25 minutes in a couple of other games. So it was good to see some youngsters get some game time in that pre-season, but there wasn't too many other positives to take from that, and players aren't really in the greatest of form coming into this. Jose Mourinho does like in his other clubs to have always had a good pre-season and hit the ground running to get away from the chasing pack. He's done that enough with Chelsea and other clubs. Got into a lead and then sort of seeing the season off. But Manchester United can't really afford a slow start to the season because the critics will be out in full force if we do. Now Leicester City also have their own problems. Harry Maguire's only just come back from the holiday he's been on. He's expected to probably start in this game because obviously they haven't got the squad that Manchester United have got, so they probably have to play the players that have come back. And they may have come back quicker than Manchester United players, I'm not too sure. Now, we will just have to wait and see, but obviously Jamie Vardy is another one that was at the World Cup, didn't really feature in the World Cup, so we will have to wait and see whether he plays, but if not, it'll be Kelechi and Iheanacho who could cause Manchester United problems as well. But I'm hopeful that Manchester United will get the job done. I'm going to go for Manchester United winning this game 2-0, hopefully a clean sheet. I'll be very, very happy with the 2-0 scoreline. That would make me buzzing for the season. We've also got the under-18s tomorrow against Derby and the under-23s against Fulham. So a lot to look forward to on the same day. So hopefully all three teams can get the victory. Join me for the watch along tomorrow at around 7:30, 8 o'clock, whenever the game is getting ready to kick off. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon.